Hi folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the movies, back in the movie room for another collection update. It's been a relatively slow couple of months for me in terms of collecting. I've been really ill since I made the last video. A couple of days after that I came down with the flu and I'm still not 100% better. Still battling a bit of an ear infection and got some, rubbish going on in my throat and whatever else. So I haven't been leaving the house, I haven't really been sort of spending any money or doing much, and it's really only in the last couple of weeks that I've started to get back to some sort of semblance of normal life again. So there's a few bits that I picked up at the beginning of the year just after I made the last pickup video, and then there's a few bits that I've picked up in the last couple of weeks, or Amazon and HMV pre-orders that have like come through the post or whatever, that sort of thing. So it's not a big haul, but still a fun haul. I've enjoyed lots of what I've watched. One of the, if you can call it, a plus side of being ill and being sort of in bed all the time is I've had a lot of opportunity to sit down and watch a lot of this stuff, which is nice, because I often buy things and then sort of it takes me months to get to them in the watch pile. But as always, let's dive into some DVDs. So as always, guys, we'll start with the DVDs, and this is in no particular order. I've just grabbed the pile and put them together. The one that's on the top of the pile here that I picked up just this weekend, I picked it up for the director's cut. I have the Blu-ray of the theatrical cut, but this is Amadeus, so wanted to get that just for the different cut of the film. The next one I've heard of before but not seen, checked the collection list, and no, I don't have it, so I picked up in the same charity shop, Angela's Ashes. My cousin's husband has been telling me that I needed to pick this next film up for years, and I wasn't prepared to spend the extortionate amount of money that it seemed to always be going for on Amazon. Apparently this film is truly terrible, but me and him are going to have a movie night at some point, and we are going to watch Rubber. It's about a killer tyre, and I'm sure it's going to be just as shit as it looks, and I can't wait. The next one's a stand-up special. I picked this one up on the back of Phil and Ruben's recommendations. They're both really into Eddie Murphy's stand-up, and I saw this in a charity shop at the beginning of the year for £1, so I picked up Eddie Murphy's Delirious. I was very surprised that I didn't have this next one. It's Guy Ritchie's Revolver. When I saw it in the shop, I thought, that's a nice edition of that, and double-checked the list, and surprisingly, I don't have the film in the collection. So I picked it up for £1. The trailers for this next one really got me in the cinema, and I've been excited to see it since, and very recently picked it up in the reduced section in HMV, and that is The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, starring Jim Broadbent and Penelope Wilton. The next one's a belated sequel, and one that rewrites the history of the horror franchise, which seems to be what's happening with a lot of them at the moment, isn't it? With, like, your likes of Halloween and Scream and whatever else. Anyway, this one is Exorcist Believer. Now, this got absolutely panned when it came out in the flicks, but I actually really enjoyed it. It didn't reinvent the wheel, but I never thought that it was gonna do. It did what it said on the tin for me, and I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it again when I rewatched it. Picked this one up in a charity shop. I really quite like this film. It's just cheesy rom-com fun. It's Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston in Just Go With It. Picked this one up because I'm ashamed to say that I've never seen it, and that is Amelie. Don't really know anything about it other than that it's a foreign film and it's regarded as a classic, so I really should get it watched soon, shouldn't I? Elliot Page and Michael Cera in this next one, amongst a whole host of others. It's a teen coming-of-age pregnancy movie called Juno. I've seen it many times before. It was one of my sister's favourite films growing up, and I really enjoyed it, so I look forward to revisiting that one. The next one, me, Sophie and Laura saw in the cinemas at the end of last year and had a really good time with it. It's an independent movie about two divers that get stuck underwater, and one of the divers has to work against all the odds to rescue the other. It's The Dive. Now, it's only had a DVD release over here, which for me is absolutely fine, but there is an American Blu-ray release for those that would want it in high def. This honestly looked absolutely fine, though, on DVD on a 50-inch screen, so if you're not too picky, I think this is £5 in Asda now, so I'd say it's worth picking up for that. I really enjoyed it. This next one was one of my mum's husband's old DVDs, and he's having a clear out because they're hoping to move up here to Yorkshire from Devon to be hands-on grandparents when my son arrives later this year. So he's having a clear out, and he's sort of sent me a picture of his DVDs. Is there any that you want? There was only one that I fancied, and it was the fact that it was a David Lynch film that grabbed me. I know nothing about this, but that's David Lynch's The Straight Story. This next one I picked up because it's Michael Caine. I know nothing about it. It's called Little Voice. So the next one to show you is a blind buy. I picked this one up in a charity shop. It's Baby Boy, starring Tyrese Gibson, Snoop Dogg and Ving Rhames, and I picked it up primarily for the cast. I don't really know much else about it. The next one to show you is Jean-Claude Van Damme in Universal Soldier: The Return. I enjoyed the first one, so I decided I'd pick the sequel up. This next one I picked up because it's got Val Kilmer in it. Spartan. I don't know anything else about it. I thought that I had this next one in the collection, but I actually don't, and that is Eddie Murphy in The Golden Child. Picked this one up in CEX at the beginning of the year. And then this next one, and the final DVD to show you for this update before I show you the 5 Blu-rays that I bought, is what looks to be just a run-of-the-mill slasher flick called Blood Trails. Don't know anything about it, but the premise sounded fun. Quite often on a Friday night, me and Laura like to put a mindless horror film on, have a takeaway, or put a pizza in the oven and just curl up and watch some mindless drivel. So this is no doubt where I'll end up watching this film. Let's show you some Blu-rays, shall we? So the first one to show you is an import that came out at the end of January. I imported this from Italy, as so far that is the only place you can get this on physical media, and that is Killers of the Flower Moon. I really enjoyed this film, but I'll be honest, I thought it was a hair too long, and I didn't like the creative choice, shall we say, at the end of the film to wrap the story up. But it's a good turn from DiCaprio, it's a good turn from De Niro. I would say that I agree with most reviews that Lily Gladstone steals the show, if I could speak. Folks interested in importing this will be pleased to know that the bits spoken in the Osage language are subtitled in English, and it's just the main film subtitle track for the English dialogue that is the Italian subtitle track. So don't be worried about importing it if you're thinking you're not going to be able to follow what's going on. The bits that need to be subtitled in English are. The next one I picked up, I was just curious about seeing this. I enjoyed the cartoon when I was a kid, so I picked up The Little Mermaid. It was only £6 in CEX at the beginning of the year. I picked up The Creator on Blu-ray. Now, I wanted more from this film, and I think I'm in a minority because I know this has been universally praised. Now, don't get me wrong, there are parts of this film, lots of this film actually, that I really thoroughly enjoy. I really love John David Washington. He's a superb leading man, and he's a real chip off the old block. Being the son of Denzel, he's got his father's sort of charm and sort of commanding presence, and I think he's gonna really do well and go on to make some absolutely fantastic films. His performance in this is great. I don't know what it is, but I just felt that the film was sort of borrowing a bit too heavy from other sci-fi classics, and then the story takes you on all these twists and turns only to ultimately sort of pull the rug out from underneath you, I felt. And maybe I'll do a video on this film at some point, because I really feel like it's one where I'd have to explain how I feel about it in more detail than I can probably do justice in this update. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but I wanted more from it. The next one to show you, I've literally just picked up today, and that is Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. I enjoyed this film. I think it got unnecessary hate, and I do think that, people sort of jumped on the whole sort of, woke bandwagon. It's led by 3 women bandwagon and whatever else. Now, is it a perfect movie? No, it's not at all. Absolutely not. And I will come out and say that the second act, where there's the musical sequence, even though I am a music lover and a musician, I thought really took me out of the film. But I didn't think it was a bad film. I didn't think it was the worst film in the Marvel series. I think that honour still goes towards Thor: Dark World. I really enjoy Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and enjoyed the supporting cast as well. I was able to follow this without having watched the Ms. Marvel TV show as well. Yeah, not a bad film. Just typical superhero fodder, really. I don't think, you could say that it's a bad film at all. It's just a superhero film, but there we are. And then the last one to show you for this update is a Criterion release. I'm so happy to finally have this in the collection. I've been wanting to watch it for the longest time. We watched this last Friday night. It's La Bamba. What a great film this is. The transfer's fantastic as well, and the sort of the old extras from previous releases have been ported over. I don't think there's anything new on this release, but I thoroughly enjoyed the film, thoroughly enjoyed going through the extras, and just another great release from Criterion. And I'll quickly show you the back, since it's just the one, so you can pause that there and have a read if you want to do. Well, there we are, folks. That is my January/February of 2024 so far's haul. So it's a steady away haul, not as much as I've picked up in previous hauls, but it's still a good collection of movies, and it's quality over quantity, shall we say. I do hope everybody's keeping well. You'll have to let me know how you're all keeping down below in the comments, and let me know as well down in the comments if there's any of these films that I've mentioned that I've not watched yet that you think I should get to straight away, or as usual, any recommendations you might have based on the taste of what I've picked up here as well. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, to leave it a thumbs up. It helps me and helps YouTube know to keep making videos like this. And if you are coming across me for the first time, hi, nice to meet you. I promise I'm not normally this this stuffy, like I say, getting over the flu, but please think about subscribing to the channel. I make collection update videos like this. I make videos in this room where I talk about collecting physical media and my love of movies, and just all things movies and physical media on this channel. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and then when I post a video, you'll be the first to notice. Above all else, folks, as I always say, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you again for my next video. Bye for now.